Hi, Instagram. What's up? Let's talk about making business simple. Okay. Good evening. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's good. I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to come. I'm going to be talking all about ways to make business simple. Okay, so these are going to be some really super tangible tips, some insight for creatives, specifically for photographers, and when it comes to simplifying your business model, and just some things that I've helped some of my clients do, which is really essential because when business is confusing and all over the place, it's not good for selling. So good evening, you guys. Thank you for joining me. I am going to be talking all about how to make business simple. So if you're joining here, make sure to say hi. Let me know where you are tuning in from. I would love that. And I'm going to put in the chat the topic for tonight's live. Quickly, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ray Whitney. I am a wedding and portrait photographer and a business coach to photographers. I have the honor and privilege of coaching other photographers and helping them build out profitable, sustainable businesses when it comes to their gifts and talents and really becoming a better business owner. So that's what I do it for. I have been a coach and a mentor for the last, let's say, I think 8 years. And it's been really, really great. So I have a signature program. It is called Elevate. And that is where I get to help pro photographers really work on becoming a confident CEO and so that they can thrive in life and business. And I have an upcoming webinar happening next week, November 14th. I'm really excited about it. It's called Perfectly Packaged for Six Figures and Beyond. So if you're a photographer, if you're here, hey, you guys, if you're here, if you're a photographer, first of all, I want you guys to drop some cameras in the chat. If you're a photographer, I would love that so much. Maybe invite some of your photographer friends onto this live because per usual, when I have my lives, I have my topics and I have my bullet points that I want to touch on. And tonight we're talking about making business simple. And this is specifically for my photographers. So if I have photographers here, say hi, drop some cameras. Hi, Jada. Hello, girl. Thank you for joining. And I also want to invite all of my photographers to join my free webinar that I have next week. Okay. It is going to be an extremely beneficial webinar, a lot of teaching all about positioning your personality, your processes, and understanding pricing to get to that six figures and beyond as a photographer. So join that. It's totally free. I want to invite all of my photographers to join that. Okay. And so tonight I want to talk about, okay, good. We got some photographers in the building. I want to see everybody's name on the free webinar that I'm doing next week. I'm geeked about it. It's going to be great. And what better time than now for us to focus in on our business, to focus in on our bag, to focus in on the things that we can control and the things that are in our control. In business, I truly believe that entrepreneurship is one of the best ways to create generational wealth and financial freedom for your life. But it takes work. It's not easy. It's to be the forward-facing entrepreneur. It's really not for everyone. But if you've been called to this space, then you have to really commit to getting better. You have to commit to growing. You have to commit to learning how to be a better business owner, a better entrepreneur each and every day. It requires, right? That is required, period. So I get to work with my photographers inside of Elevate, helping them elevate as a CEO and really help them make business more simple. And a lot of what I'm going to share tonight is what I help my photographers do. And I really think these things are essential when it comes to simplifying business. And let's take a minute quickly to talk about why simplifying business is even important. I believe that sometimes it all makes sense to us. The business you have, your offers, your packages, how people should move and how people should inquire with you, it all makes sense to you. But that does not mean that it makes sense to your customer. That does not mean that it's making sense to your audience, right? And the most important people that it should make sense to, what people should do is your audience, right? And so a lot of times what I've learned with working with photographers, coaching with them is that I get to be like another set of eyes, and I get to point out the holes and gaps that they have when it comes to their business when it comes to their offers, their packages, how they sell those offers, how they go about marketing. And when it comes to just like simplifying so that you can actually get a person from maybe meeting you on social media to becoming your client, right? And really start to attract that target audience that you've been called to serve, the audience that you love to serve, okay? So let's talk a little bit about making business simple. The first point that I want to say when it comes to simplifying your business is that I believe it's super important for you to create a signature offer. A signature offer. So when I say signature, this is an offer surrounded around like the exact audience, the exact clientele that you want to serve, right? I believe that this offer should be around within a genre or a niche that you actually love, that you want to be known for, right? And photographers absolutely should have signature offers, right? It should be very clear when someone is coming and looking at your social profile. They maybe been introduced to you by word of mouth, or however, maybe they found you via Google or SEO. Maybe they, you just came up in their Explore page. However, that when they come to your page, when they come to look at your content and all that you put out there, it should be very clear what your signature offer is, right? A lot of times when I work with my photographers inside of Elevate, they do not have a signature offer defined. And that's a lot of the work that we do. And it starts off by really getting clear on who it is that you want to service, like who it is that you want to really work with, right? Because I believe that a lot of the work that we do is an energetic exchange. And the more we love the work that we do for the people that we do it for, the more that we're really able to create and just be in our creative magic and in that bag. And that is such an important place to be as a creative, right? So when we talk about making business simple, the first piece absolutely is creating a signature offer, right? This offer, this package, this service that you want to be known for, that you absolutely love to do, for an audience that you love to do it for, and you literally are one of the best doing it, right? And I think that you have to also believe that you are one of the best doing it when it comes to the signature offer, okay? So for example, my signature offer when it comes to coaching is Elevate. Elevate is to me, the place to be. If you are a pro photographer, you're trying to grow to 6 figures and beyond, you're trying to become a better business owner, just run your business more efficiently, more intentionally, more strategically, to me, Elevate is a place to be, right? I believe it. I know it. I've seen the transformations. That is my signature offer. And I'm always going to be talking about Elevate, because I believe in it, right? So the first piece when it comes to simplifying your business is making sure that you have a signature offer, and making sure that that signature offer is something you talk about all the time. It's something that you clearly showcase all the time. And it's something that you really actually love to do for an audience that you love to do it for. That's really big. There's a big energy piece there, okay? If you're watching, I want to invite you to join my webinar. I'm doing a free webinar next week. Actually, it's a week from today, the 14th, November 14th, called Perfectly Packaged for 6 Figures and Beyond. It is for pro photographers that want to learn how to position their personality. They need to understand the processes and the pricing structure to get to 6 figures. It's free. Come and join me. And on that webinar, I'll be talking more about Elevate and ways to work with me in 2025 for the people that's a good fit for, okay? So number 1, create a signature offer. Number 2, this is a really, really big one, okay? It's important for you to know your bare minimum number. Your bare minimum number. So I believe in this. So a lot of time, like in Elevate, when I'm working with my clients, of course, one of the big things that we do is we work on pricing. We work on creating a pricing structure that really matches where you want to be in your sales goals, right? And photographers don't do this. And I'm big on getting in the data. I'm big on knowing your numbers. Like, this is what it's a big part of growing as a CEO. So when I say your bare minimum number, this number is the number that the amount of money you are willing to leave your house for to do whatever work, right? And one thing that I see a lot that photographers struggle with is like, okay, so they might have like multiple genres. Maybe you are a wedding photographer, but then maybe sometimes you do corporate events, and then you also do engagements, which ties in with weddings, and maybe, I don't know, you do branding, right? And so you have all of these kind of different price buckets per se. And they start to get confused on like, okay, well, I just got this inquiry for this. I don't really have pricing for that, but so I'm trying to figure out how to price it. When you know your bare minimum number, you know exactly the minimum amount of money you are willing to walk out the house for. It does not matter if it's for an engagement session. It does not matter if it's for a corporate event. It does not matter if it's for it doesn't matter what it's for. Headshot, it doesn't matter. There is a bare minimum number, an amount that you are willing to walk out the house for. And when you know that, then you know that is like one of the big pieces of putting together for your pricing structure, right? So for example, let's just like use really easy numbers, okay? For example, if you were to shoot, like your portrait session start at $500, okay? I'm just using easy numbers. Matter of fact, no, let's go up. Your portrait session started at $1,000, right? And that is one of your signature portrait sessions. They get, let's say 3 outfits. They get like 2 hours of shooting. Maybe you do a call to prep them, and maybe they get a call after on the use of photos, whatever, right? So $1,000 is the minimum for 2 hours, okay? So maybe you then have a corporate client that has inquired with you, and they're like, hey, we want you to shoot this event. You know, they want you to send them your hourly rate, and you're now stuck. I see this happens all the time. Matter of fact, it just happened to one of my clients recently last week, right? They're like, well, I don't know like how to price this. I don't know what, how to go about this, right? And so the first thing I'm saying to them is like, what's the bare minimum number? What's the bare minimum amount that you are willing to walk out the door for, serve a client, come back, do post-production, do all the things that it requires to do as a photographer? What is that bare minimum number, right? And then when we start to think about their package, they have that $1,000 package. It's their signature package, 2 hours. That's the one that books all the time. So when we break it down, it's looking like an hourly rate of $500, right? With a minimum of 2 hours to work with you. Like, so maybe your bare minimum number for this just example that I gave is $500 an hour, right? Because again, your signature package is $1,000. That is what you love to do. That's the price that sells. And you are able to serve your clients there. And now you have another kind of like project or another genre that is inquiring. And you're like, okay, I need to kind of figure out how to price this, but I want it to be comparable to what I typically get for my other sessions. Then it sounds like to me that your hourly rate needs to be around $500 with a minimum of 2 hours, right? I think what I want you to know here in this scenario is that a lot of times photographers really complicate pricing. They complicate it, and it makes sense to you, but it's not about it always making sense to you. It's about it making sense to the consumer in which you are selling to. Okay? This is a really, really big thing. And pricing, creating a pricing structure that really takes into consideration your cost of doing business, your sales goals, your capacity in which you want to shoot in that month, right? There's like a lot of pieces when it comes to creating pricing that people need to take into account, right? One thing I see photographers do a lot is like they'll be looking at what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is charging, what it looks like from the outside. But that is not a good strategy. It's just not smart. It's not smart at all. Hi, Tony. Thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for joining. So number one, I think it's really important when we talk about simplifying business. Number one is creating a signature offer, right? Having this signature offer be in a genre and a niche that you want to be known for, right? And serving an audience that you actually love to serve, doing a service that you actually love to do, right? And it's premiumly priced because this is your signature offer. This is the best way that you're able to serve people. You know that you can get people amazing results, right? And you love doing it, okay? The other piece is really knowing what your bare minimum number is, what you are willing to leave the house for, and to do all the post-production, do all the work that we have to do. Because as y'all, as photographers, a lot of our work starts once the shoot is over. Okay. Like, yes, we do work in the beginning, preparation, phone calls, client prep, mood boards, like location scouting, all of that. But a big majority of our work starts once the shoot is over, when it comes to post-production and, getting the gallery back out to that client and really fine tuning that final product, right? To me, that is a big value of what people pay us for, is how like that final product that we're able to produce and showcase to them. Okay. So, hey, you guys, thank you for joining me. If you're new on the live, if you're a photographer, drop some cameras in the chat, okay? I am here on live and I'm talking about creating a simplified business model. I'm just giving some tips on what I believe is super essential when it comes to simplifying business. And again, why do we need to think about simplifying business? Because a complicated business is going to run clients away, simply put. Right? And a lot of times what I see is that it makes sense to you in your head because you're the business owner and you're the one that's done the website and done all these things. But that doesn't mean that it's making sense to your target audience, to the consumer. And that is the most important person that it needs to make sense to, is to the consumer. Thank you, Tony, for putting those cameras in the chat. Okay. So I'm talking about creating a simplified business model. I am hosting a free webinar next week, Thursday, 7 days from today, called Perfectly Packaged for Six Figures and Beyond. And I want to invite all of my photographers. If you're watching this live, head to the link in my bio, sign up. It's totally free. If you're going to watch this on the replay, you can comment webinar. You can DM me the word webinar. You can head to the link in my bio. Listen, be there. Okay. Perfectly Packaged for Six Figures and Beyond. And I'm going to be talking about really creating a simplified business model, really understanding how to utilize your personality in order to reach that six figures and how to be a better business owner, build that confidence. Okay. And I'll be talking more about Elevate, which is my signature group coaching program for pro photographers. So I'm looking forward to the webinar. It's next week. Join me, totally free. It's going to be great. Lots of gems, lots of information, and it's just going to be incredible. So join me there. Okay. So we talked about creating a signature offer. We talked about knowing your bare minimum number, right? The next thing that I want to speak on is being able to clearly define your target audience. Now, this is huge. And I do this in a very unique way. Like the way that I get my people to think about who their target audience is and who their ideal client is. The reason I think this is really, really important is because it helps you create better messaging. It helps you create better content. It helps you to create a better connection with who it is that you serve. I do not believe that we are photographers for everybody. We're not here to serve the entire world. We just don't have the capacity to do that. I just don't think that that's even a smart way to think about business, right? We are here because a lot of what we do as creatives is energetic. It's in our head, it's the vibe, it's the feel, it's the energy. And the more that we are able to clearly define this target audience, this ideal client, the perfect type of client that really aligns with who you are and who you really create best with, the better we can show up in our marketing, the better we can show up in being helpful and insightful and presenting ourselves as valuable to them, right? The better we are able to really create magic when we get to that session and it just feels like a really good fit, right? And those are the best sessions. Like they're the best sessions. You just leave on a high. You're super proud of the work that you've created. You feel really good. You help the client feel really good. And you're really able to deliver what it is that they're looking for from you. Like that's the best. Like that is our ideal scenario at all times, right? Y'all feel me. I hope you feel me on that. And let me say this, if you have any questions that come up while I'm talking about any of these things, please drop it in the chat. I am a energy girl. Like I love to answer questions. I love to hear feedback from you all. So if you have any questions that come up, please drop it in the chat. And you know what? While I'm here and thinking about it, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Because every time I hop on live, someone ends up calling me. And then I get thrown off a little bit. Hi, Tamasha. Hello. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. There we go. Okay, we on now. Because someone always ends up calling me, okay? So really being able to clearly define that audience is going to just simplify so much for you. So we talked about creating a signature offer Girl, the D&D must be on tomorrow. You already know. It's like without fail. I get on live and people like, they just call, and then you wonder if the audio went off. You kind of get thrown off. I don't want to get thrown off. I got some stuff to share. I got some stuff to say. So when it comes to making business simple, this is important because, again, if business is confusing, you're running your clients away. And a lot of times it makes sense to us, but it doesn't necessarily make sense to the consumer. And when I say make sense, meaning what's the next step that they want you to do? What is your signature offer? Who exactly are you talking to? Who are you here to serve, right? Like, and how do they know when they come and engage with your content or meet you? How do they know that it's a match? Like, how do they, like, how are you making them feel, right? Like, how are you really positioning yourself as the go-to person that they need? Okay, so we talked about creating a signature offer. This is really important. This should be premiumly priced. This is something I absolutely help my people do immediately in Elevate. I'm big on creating a signature offer, specifically a 4-figure signature offer that sells. I got to add that sales in there because it's so easy to create something like, oh, we're going to put together this perfect package and like all these things. We love to create. Okay, we love to create. Creators love to create. But baby, we got to sell it, right? We got to know how to speak to it. We got to know how to market it. We have to know who it's best for, right? So creating your signature offer, what do you want to be known for? Knowing your bare minimum number, what you're willing to leave the house, like the minimum amount that you want to leave the house and do work for. And it aligns with your bills, your cost of doing business, your sales goals, the amount of work that you know it's going to take once the session is over. Because once the session is over, that is when the work really starts. Okay? Like, yeah, we did a lot of work on the front end, but we're also doing a lot of work on the back end to get the gallery, that final product back out to the client. And this is really important. Right? And then really clearly defining that target audience. And this is important when it comes to messaging. This is important when it comes to content creation. This is important when it comes to alignment and being able to qualify clients and really knowing immediately. They share like little bits and pieces with you and you immediately know what the best way to serve them. Just because you are so honed in on who the audience is and like who you are, like who you're speaking to, and they feel that like it's a match, right? So I'm going to pause really quick. I want to invite you guys to join my webinar. Listen, 7 days from today, I am doing a live free webinar for pro photographers called Perfectly Packaged for 6 Figures and Beyond. And I want to invite all photographers to join. It's free. It's going to be incredible. And I'm going to be teaching more about things like this. Simplifying your business model, creating a pricing structure that really is value packed, and really knowing how to position your value and utilize your personality when it comes to, your personal brand as a photographer. These are important pieces that are going to help you get to that 6 figures and beyond. Okay. So I invite you to sign up to the webinar. Go sign up right now. The link is in my bio. You can also DM me the word webinar and I'll get the link over to you next Thursday. I'm calling all photographers. Okay. So clearly defining your target audience. And the last piece is simplifying your pricing. Like I cannot say this enough. Okay. I was trying to find a word, but I don't know the word that I was looking for, but I cannot speak on this enough. Simplifying your pricing. Some of you all have the most convoluted, confusing pricing known to man. I'm gonna take a sip of water after that. Okay. Some of you all have very confusing pricing situations, right? It makes sense to you, and that's great. But it does not make sense to the person who is inquiring for your services, and that is not great. Okay? So simplifying that pricing, using data in your business to create a pricing structure that actually will serve you. Right? I don't know what photographers might be on this live now, or maybe you're going to watch the replay later, but you're like, man, I'm booking sessions, but I can't feel a coin in my pocket. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. More than likely, the pricing isn't giving what it needs to give. You haven't considered all pieces and aspects of what it takes for you to not only shoot the project, but get the project back out to the client. Right? So simplifying your pricing. I believe, this is what I teach my people. I believe that a simplified pricing structure is best. I believe that you should have a standard price, like a standard package, your standard package, and then you have a premium package. Okay. I really believe in like 2-package model. Now, when it comes to weddings, I think you can have up to 3 packages, and you can, in all situations, you can be willing to customize. But again, I go back to knowing that bare minimum number. When you know your bare minimum number, you know how you can kind of customize things. And when you've already broken down like the different aspects of your package, and you understand what they should be valued at, then you can customize. You can make something unique for somebody. But you don't go lower than your bare minimum. And, you want to make it simple. You want to make it simple, okay? So again, I believe in having a standard price, standard package, and then a premium package, like the kit and caboodle, okay? I think that works best. It's clear to the client. It's clear for you. You know how to sell it. You know who it's good for. Now, you might have multiple genres in which you serve people. You might even have multiple avatars in said genre, right? For example, maybe the genre is weddings, but then the avatar is someone that's doing elopement, someone that needs like full day coverage, and someone that maybe needs like extended full day coverage, right? Like that kit and caboodle, that premium package for whatever reasons. Maybe they're changing outfits, they're changing locations, they're doing a big grand exit. Like there's all kinds of reasons that come up. But as soon as people share with me like more about their project, more about their wants, and I'm asking certain questions, I'm easily able to identify like, oh, I know what package is best for them, just off of what they share with me, okay? So simplifying your pricing is so big. Now, one thing that I see and that I work with a lot of photographers on is that they come to me and the demand is there. It's popping, the demand is there, they're almost overworked, and they're about to reach the point of burnout, right? And that immediately my senses go to, are you charging enough? Right? Like if you are just, you're pumping these things out, and you got a wait list, and like things are selling up really fast, and like it just feels like it's just everything is moving and grooving for you, but you are tired, you're about to reach a place of burnout. Maybe you're not feeling the profits in your pocket. You're not seeing the money. Like, you're getting the bookings, but you're not seeing the money. My first thought is, are you charging enough? And a lot of times photographers are like so scared to charge more because they really don't know how to articulate their value in the first place, right? They don't know what like that target audience is looking for from them, right? And so that's why it's important to know that target audience in and out. And the way that I like to teach it, it really it's just so helpful because you can always be thinking about this person when it comes to creating content or how you show up, right? One thing that I always say and believe, and I live by this even in how I create content, is that my free content should be just as good and juicy as for my paid clients as it is for a person that has no idea about me. I'm gonna say that again. My free content, like whatever I'm putting out here on social, on a live, if I'm doing a carousel post, whatever I send to my email list, like it should be just as good and juicy to my paid clients, people that have been around here for a while, as it is to a potential person that has no idea about my brand, to a cold audience. Because I'm always thinking about my audience. Like I'm always thinking about that target audience, that ideal client, right? For example, I just had someone, a new coaching client, right? She's new to the fold. She's joining me, going to be working with me in 2025. Love that. So off of what we discussed on her discovery call, like the things that she shared, I got off the phone and my head was just overloaded with all kinds of content ideas because I can think about her. She's already a client, she's already in, but if she has these issues and these are the things she's facing, there's going to be so many more people facing it. And this topic is one of them, creating a simplified business model, right? Like I thought about this topic off of a new client, paid client. And what I'm sharing right now would literally be so helpful for her, right? But now she gets to work with me on the inside. So she's about to get all this juice and all this jam, okay? So I just want to say that, when it comes to making business simple, a lot of times you are overcomplicating it. The next step is overcomplicated. The call to actions aren't there. The links just aren't working. You don't have easy ways for people to sign a contract and to pay you, right? You are kind of all over the place when it comes to your offer suite. One day you're talking about this and the next day you're not, it ain't even photography related. You're talking about something totally different. And your audience is confused. They're confused, right? we have to lock in and really like hone in on like a genre, a niche, a signature offer, this thing you want to be known for, and drive that all the way home. Because there's so many ways to serve that audience in a multitude of ways, right? Like it's not just like one package fits all, not necessarily. It really just depends. And I think that the more that we can be flexible with our offering, our packages, how we talk about them, how we reach them, how we articulate value, the more that we're able to bring our audience in and really, really work with the type of audience and the type of clientele that you really desire to work with, right? So again, I want to invite you guys to sign up for my free webinar 1 week from today. Oh my gosh, it's going down. And listen, I think that this is the best time right now, given everything that's going on, to lock in on your business, your stuff, okay? Like commit to you being a better person. Commit and control what you can. Like focus on what you can control, and you absolutely can control your business. You can absolutely control the amount of money that you're able to make, the amount of leads that you're able to make, right? I talked on my story the other day about increasing your capacity, and I'm going to do a whole nother live about that, because when you are in this space where you're like, I want to grow my business, I've been playing small, I don't want another year to just pass by where it's just like, I let whatever kind of just happen to me. Like you have to be willing and you have to commit to increasing your capacity, increasing what you're telling yourself you are actually able to do. Because you can do more. You have more to give. But sometimes we're so quick to tell ourselves, oh, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'm tapped out. This is like, I can't. But you actually can. And, you know, that's a whole nother lie for another day, right? But 2025 has to be a year. If you are telling yourself you're going bigger, you want to be more, take things more serious, you want to make more money, you have to commit now to being willing to increase your capacity. You have to commit now to being willing to do something different that's going to get you a different result. Thank you so much. Okay, good. I'm glad this is resonating. Thank you for the comments. I'm a comment girl, okay? So again, I want to invite you guys to join my free webinar. It's happening 1 week from today. Okay, November 14th, perfectly packaged for six figures and beyond. I did a whole podcast on six figures and beyond, because there are like key fundamentals. I believe that when we're thinking about getting the six figures and beyond, what does it look like? What does that business model and that foundation actually look like? There's a model things that you should have when it comes to six figures and beyond. So if you haven't checked out my podcast, I have a podcast called The Ray Whitney Podcast. Today, I dropped an episode sharing a case study, client testimonial, Kim, about her experience in Elevate. She's been working with me for 2 years, and to see her growth is incredible. When she first came to me, listen, I know how y'all are. When Kim first came to me, she was like, listen, I've been a photographer for years. I know what I'm doing. I pretty much have everything together. I just need like a little help here, a little bit of help there. And baby, was she wrong, right? I think that a lot of times we can't see like the holes and gaps that we have in our business until someone else shines a light in them. And you're like, wait a minute, whoa, right? So she didn't have a client management system. She didn't have an easy way for people to pay her and to sign contracts. Her organization, when it comes to documentation with clientele, was all over the place. There was no structure to it, right? She didn't have a signature offer. She didn't have a pricing structure that really spoke to her sales goals and is getting her in the direction that she wanted to go, right? And so we've been able to like create a signature offer that sells. She knows really clearly how she's showing up in her marketing. She feels like it's fun again. She's attracting her ideal clients. She's booking with her ideal clients. She feels like she is the CEO, the CEO of CEOs, right? Like, and I love that. Like, I love that. It's that confidence. It's that ability to speak to your value. It's that ability to know like what your uniqueness is and be able to speak to it. It's the ability to feel super solid about your pricing and knowing your bare minimum number, right? Numbers, and, you know, not budging on and not taking every project that comes your way, because it may not be in alignment and it may not work energetically for how you need it to work when it comes to being a creative. Okay. And so check out the podcast. That episode's really good. I'm going to share some clips tomorrow. Sign up for the webinar. It's totally free, perfectly packaged for 6 figures and beyond. Again, I did create a podcast talking about the and beyond, because in Elevate, I absolutely help people create 6 figures and beyond. So if you already hit the 6-figure mark before and you're like, I want to go to 150, 200, 250, we can do that, right? But maybe you are coming from a place where it's like, well, I just want to hit my first like 25K or my first 40K, my first 50K or 75K, right? We can do that, right? So Elevate really has everything you need. It's a hybrid program. I have one-on-one calls. I have group calls, weekly group calls, coaching calls where we meet in community, and you're able to come get questions, get support, feedback, strategy. It is a curriculum. So there is a curriculum to it. And throughout the curriculum, you have touch points with me, again, one-on-one, where I'm going to give you feedback and support, and you are building out a business plan. And this is the business side of photography. Let me be very clear. Elevate is a program that's going to help you level up the business side of photography. Now, we do talk about skill set. You are able to send me galleries. You are able to send me your website. Like, you are able to get all kinds of feedback and critiquing from me, right? A lot of times my people come and they're like, they have a new project and they're like, hey, I want to present to you like a proposal or a pricing structure to see what you think. Like, just like a space to get feedback on all the things that are going on. Hey, Darren, what's going on, girl? Yes, Tony, I can't wait as well. Okay. So the webinar is 1 week from today, perfectly packaged for 6 figures and beyond. I'm going to be talking about positioning your personality and the processes and the pricing that you need to get you to 6 figures and beyond as a pro photographer, and really just making business simple. Making business simple. Okay, so again, the 4 things that I talked about when it comes to making business simple is, number 1, creating a signature offer, one that you really love, that you feel good about serving, to an audience that you feel good about serving. Number 2, knowing your bare minimum number, right? Really using data and having like that data drive your sales and your pricing. This is essential. Knowing your bare minimum number. Okay. Number 3, clearly defining your target audience. Knowing who you're talking to so that messaging is really good, so that you know how to create really great content, you know how to speak to your value, you've thought about your people way far in advance, and before they even connected with you, you know about them, right? And you are just always coming from a place of value and great service, right, to help them. And then really simplifying your pricing. Make it simple, not convoluted, not confusing. Make it simple, right? So that like, when they read it, they easily get it, right? And these are big pieces. This is important work that you have to do to get to that next level, to grow as a photographer. And I'm excited to be able to help some photographers do just that. Okay. So again, I'm hosting a webinar, free webinar, next Thursday, 7 days from today, called Perfectly Packaged for 6 Figures. I'm inviting you to join. It's totally free. You can DM me the word webinar. You can head to the link in my bio and sign up, snag your seat. I want to see all the photographers in the room. If you are committed to making 2025 a way better year than this year, or just doing something different to get a different result in your business, and you are a photographer, Elevate is more than likely the place you need to be. The transformations happen on the inside. And I'm just here on this live to share some of my thoughts, some of my ideas, some of my suggestions to help you become a more confident CEO, for you to start to think like a CEO and to see some holes and gaps that you might have in your business. But I really hope to see you at the webinar, and I really hope to connect with some of you all on an even more intimate level and to coach with you in 2025 inside of my program. Okay, so I can't wait to see you there. I hope everybody has a great night, and I will talk to you later. Okay, sign up for the webinar. Bye.